Now we're going live. Oh.
We're accidentally like, oh, my bad.
Yeah.
Hello.
I pushed the go button. I pushed the go button. Unprepared.
We already got a phantom viewer.
Yeah. Is that a real human? If you are a real human, press L in the chat. Okay, my mouse just keeps sliding. I can't deal with this mouse. I'm gonna put this mouse out of my way. Hellboy, watch my mouse. Hellboy's got the mouse. Good morning.
Oh God.
I like the angle on this camera better, but I don't like the light. I don't like how dark it is. It looks bad, I feel like.
Yeah, you need an influencer light.
I do have one. Don't be kidding. Look, you can see. Look, it's right there. Yeah, it's there. I do my makeup tutorials.
You need some LEDs in the background, changing colors, and
I need to cast blue and purple.
My son's room, he's got all the LEDs. He's 14. He's got all the LEDs and stuff that we've hung up. And you look at it from the outside, and it looks like a damn disco hall with the blinds and everything. I'm like,
yes,
people driving by thinking we're having a damn party in there every night. That's all right. I told Ashley, I was like, man, if we would have had these LED lights and stuff like that, like they have today for cheap, if we would have had them back then, hell yeah,
right?
On everything.
We did everything.
Yeah, that's cool.
Good morning.
What's up?
It is
good morning.
Thursday, August 18th, 2022. We've got all kinds of amazing news that everybody should know about. Probably the most important news.
You're going to I'm going to have to keep my mouth shut on a personal opinion on something that we're going to talk about quite a bit today, because I have an opinion on something that we're going to talk about that is a very, very, very unpopular opinion in America. Unpopular opinion. So yeah, I'll mention that when we get there. But
all right.
I saw you posting those stories last night. I told Ashley, I was like, oh, no. She's like, what? And I showed her the 2 or 3 stories. I was like, you see what they're doing here? And I was like, oh, JJ's not going to like what I've got to say about this.
Oh, boy. We'll see. I am not. Oh, wow.
I'm so scared of someone like, I don't like what that sumbitch has to say. I'm going to find out where he works and get him fired. Well, first of all, you can't get me fired. If I get fired, this radio station shuts down permanently. So I have a little bit of job security. But yeah, that I might not talk about it this morning, but it's very interesting what you have.
You are cluing in, and I'm not entirely sure what you're gonna talk about. So this is like the wheel of what is it? Wheel of Fortune, like spin the wheel, and it could be like this story comes up, and is this the one that's a nuclear bomb? No, it's just another story.
No, it's not going to be a nuclear bomb. I just have a very unpopular opinion about something that most of America will wholeheartedly and feverishly disagree with me on. I don't care. I think most of America is not as educated as I am on this subject.
Oh, okay. All right. Well, let's see. I think the quickest way to get into my hilarious tweet is to just start talking about.
Okay.
As you know, we mentioned yesterday.
Yeah.
Poor Liz Cheney got shellacked. The final difference was something like 37% difference, and she lost her primary.
Yeah, so, I had to unfollow Kate Mulgrew. I knew
that she was. That's so sad.
I knew that she was the way that she was anyway, but I like to follow my favorite celebrities and the people that I like until they start spewing crap,
vitriol. They get. They lose politically, and then they just go crazy.
Yeah,
like. So you know who else is like that? Ron Perlman. Ron Perlman is an insane person.
No, the thing about Ron Perlman is that he is so disgusting. He is just the most vile, disgusting person that I think I've ever met, or not. I've never met him, but ever seen. Who are we just talking about?
You were talking about Kate Mulgrew.
Oh yeah, Kate
For
Mulgrew. Yeah,
our
she said
viewer who
something
may
about
not
Liz Cheney
immediately
this morning.
remember, which is my brother, that Kate Mulgrew is Captain Janeway.
Oh yeah, I loved well, Voyager. I couldn't remember that. Gosh, I'm having one of those brain days, man. But yeah, she was in support of Liz Cheney. She was like, "Oh, finally, we've got her on our side, or something, or another, or whatnot." And I was just like,
"You can have her. You can have all of Liz Cheney. Nobody wants her.
You can have her, Kate. Y'all just go to the Delta Quadrant, and we'll see y'all later."
All right,
you and Neelix and Liz Cheney. We'll see y'all later.
We're gonna do this the easy way. No audio. And okay, so this is from Breitbart.com, sir.
Yep. Hey, you picked the right one, JJ.
Did I? Liz Cheney compares herself to Abraham Lincoln in her concession speech.
Well, that doesn't mean anything to me, because here's my unpopular opinion. Abraham Lincoln was not the greatest president that we've ever had. He was actually just as corrupt as every single other president ever. He just had really good PR at a really pivotal point in American history. That's it. He's not a very good president. Go read some of the things that he actually done, not some of the shit that your history teacher taught you and that book regurgitated to you. It's not that. You need to educate yourself on some stuff that he actually, and not just one. There's not just one publication that says this. There are many publications that say the same thing about Abraham Lincoln. But I guarantee you that 99% of the people that watch this or see this or say anything about Abraham Lincoln have never studied up on Abraham Lincoln past your studyings in school. I guarantee you not one person that will argue about Abraham Lincoln has never read a book independently on Abraham Lincoln. Okay, I'm not going to get into it, but I do not believe that Abraham Lincoln,
if you have
be put up on a pedestal like America puts him on.
That's one of my favorite biographies is A Team of Rivals by Goodwin, and it is about Abraham Lincoln and his ascendance from being a state senator to, I think he was a state senator, to being the presidential nominee, and how he was basically everybody's second choice, and that was his entire strategy. He got to be everybody's second choice, and at the Republican convention, no single other competitor could gain a large enough plurality. So anyway, it's a fascinating story.
It's very interesting to study about the proposed proposed 13th Amendment to the Constitution, not the 13th Amendment that we have now. That is actually the second or third one. The very first one was proposed by Abraham Lincoln, and I encourage anyone to go read what it says. I'm not going to repeat what it says because people will get pissed off at me, but I just encourage you to look it up yourself. Just look it up yourself and see what it says.
All right, I'll go have a look at
that. The proposed first draft of the 13th Amendment. It was written by Abraham Lincoln, and you just see what you think for yourself.
Here's the thing. History, as you know, are the lies that we tell ourselves that we agree upon. And historically, President Lincoln is a hero. He is one of the pillars of the American myth.
Historically, Robert E. Lee is now a villain, and he is one of the greatest military minds that has ever been in humankind.
That's true. But that's what I'm saying. Abraham Lincoln is a pillar of the American mythos, regardless of facts.
Mythos. That's where you got it. Mythos.
Yeah. All right.
He is a pillar of American mythos. That was beautifully stated, dude. I love that.
So with that in mind,
that's great.
Rep. Liz Cheney compared herself to former President Abraham Lincoln during her concession speech shortly after her loss to Trump-backed Republican challenger Harriet Hagman. Am I saying it right, Hagman? Have you heard anybody else say it? Because I don't know. It could be Hageman. I think it's Hageman.
Hagman. That's how I'd pronounce it on the news.
Let's just skip down. Let's skip down. Let's see if we can get to the quote. Cheney claimed that she lost her primary only because she failed to, quote, go along with President Trump's lie about the 2020 election. Now, that's not the only reason, you miserable hag.
Hageman.
Yeah, it would have required that I enable his ongoing efforts to unravel our democratic system and attack the foundations of our republic. This is the path I could not take and would not take. She's not being honest here. She's not being okay. The great champion of our party, Abraham Lincoln, was defeated in elections for the Senate and the House before he won the most important election of all, Cheney said. Lincoln ultimately prevailed. He saved our nation, and he defined our obligation as Americans for all of history. She also quoted Lincoln's famous Gettysburg Address and claimed that Americans' highest duty is to protect the foundations of this constitutional republic. Okay. All right. So, with that being said, I did a little internet digging, and I found the oldest existing picture of Liz Braham Lincoln. It's right there. Liz Braham Lincoln.
18, 4, and 14. Sorry.
Mm-hmm. 437% below her rival. So, yeah, I mean, I whipped this up yesterday. I just thought this was funny. That's Lincoln's actual beard.
Is she the daughter? She's Dick's daughter.
Yeah, she is.
Is a daughter?
Sure
yeah, okay. Yeah, that's what I thought. She's a piece of trash.
So, wrong one. Where is it at? I lost it. There was is this the one where it says she's gonna run again? So there's another story that basically indicates that Liz is basically like contemplating a presidential run. I don't know how you can even talk about that when you just got whooped by a nobody in your own republic, in your own district. But so anyway, so
that one got me.
Yeah, Liz Cheney's got mental health issues, serious mental health issues, obviously. If she thinks that
so does most of the fucking country, dude.
This bad, well, a lot of people do. If you can lose this bad and think you can run for president, then you retarded. If you put an L in it, they can't do anything about it. That's a new word I made up. It's yet to be defined.
I will feverishly argue with somebody. I have had several arguments over that particular word. That word is a Latin word. It means slow. It means to slow down. It is used in music. If me and you did not speak a common language, but we both knew how to read music, we would both know that symbol at the end makes it, you know, when you're listening to a song and at the very end, it's doom, 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 doom.
Yeah.
That's called a retard.
That's
and
right.
That's what happens in music when you slow down. So that's what, when someone was slow, we would call them a retard. And then that word got abused over the years because people would use it for people with actual developmental disabilities, and we would call them. And so that's why the word got abused. I don't think it's a bad word. It means slow.
Well, she is slow on the uptake. Slow. America said, no, thank you, Liz.
Yeah,
please go into a cave somewhere and be lost forever. All right, so that might be
Colin, man. I could never run for president because I hate running in general too. I've always said, Colin, that I do not run unless I'm being chased by somebody, and then I'm just gonna be like, look, what do you want? What do you want? Just take it. I ain't running. It sucks.
Good morning, Colin. Good morning, Jeremy. Let's see. We got a couple of politics stories, but we got a bunch of pop culture stuff to talk about.
Let's get through the politics first.
So the National Academy of Sciences sanctioned a White House climate aid. And so she will be unable to participate in the organization for 5 years.
What does that mean?
The National Academy of Sciences sanctions the White House aid. Let's find out.
Okay.
I don't want to look at Joe Manchin's face. And I love Just the News because it's pretty straight, but these guys they keep running these videos, and I don't know. I found it. I found the button. Go away, video. All right. Hey, so check this out. I added this yesterday. Not only are we NewsGuard certified, by the way. 69.5 out of 100. That's not fake news.
That's
I dropped this in.
thing.
Yeah, this is called ground news, and it basically for this story, it compares how this source runs it against other people running the same sources. So
such a crap. What's sad that we got to have this shit.
I know. So this story is 73% from the right perspective.
Oh, okay.
The National Academy of Sciences is prohibiting White House climate aide Jane Lubchenco.
Yeah.
Lubchenco. That is an unfortunate name, Lubchenco. From being involved in NAS activities and publications for 5 years after she violated its code of conduct, the prestigious nonprofit organization said. Lubchenco, the White House Office of Science and Technology Policy's Deputy Director for Climate and Environment, is being sanctioned in relation to a paper she edited for the Academy before she joined the Biden administration, an official told Axios. The paper was redacted from the proceeding of the National Academy of Sciences in October because of one of the authors was Lubchenco's brother-in-law, and the underlying data was not the newest available. The decision, which is effective August 8th, was published by Axios on Tuesday, is based on the NAS Code of Conduct, which states members, quote, shall avoid those detrimental research practices that are clear violations of the fundamental tenets of research. After the Academy made its decision, Lubchenco said, I accept these sanctions for my error in judgment in editing a paper authored by some of my research collaborators, an error for which I have publicly stated my regret.
I know you just read all that, but I have no clue what any of that means.
Right. So she, before she joined the White House as their science, I don't know, air conditioning czar, she worked on this. She's an academic, right? Okay. Academics are just so great, and we should always look up to them. Yeah. The paper, she was working on a paper, editing it. So when you submit a paper for peer review, or when you submit a paper it's then sent out and it's edited by people. And then once all of those people kind of agree that you're right, then, you have peer reviewed science. So one of these papers, it sounded like it said her brother. And did I misunderstand that brother-in-law? Let's see.
I still don't understand. I don't understand anything in this story.
No, not her brother. Okay, so she. Anyway, then National Institute of Science said, "Hey, that's not good. You can't do what you did." And
what did she do again?
She edited a paper that she worked on, or that was
okay.
Yeah. Anyway, it should have been edited or reviewed or whatever by an external party and in a non-biased person, and instead she worked on it herself. One of the authors was Lubchenco's brother-in-law. There it is, right there. So
I don't understand.
So this is called is a conflict of interest.
Why is this a story?
Because this person who has such terrible judgment is the White House climate aide, White House deputy director for the climate and environment. This person has such bad judgment that she worked on a peer-reviewed process for her brother-in-law's paper. That is why. This is a conflict of interest. But she didn't recognize it as such at the time. So she's now prohibited from being an actual scientist for 5 years. Anyway, it's just another example of the impeccable reputation of the Biden administration White House.
Oh yeah. Oh, okay. All
right. So poor judgment there. Poor judgment. Hey, do you like to vote?
No, I do not.
You don't like to vote?
No, I think it's a pointless system. I think it's pointless unless it's on the local level. It's completely pointless. No, I do not like it. I don't like the whole.
So some people think that we should vote on voting day, whatever day that is. And some people think that we should have, like, I don't know, an extra few days to get more people in, get more people an opportunity to vote. And some people think that we should have, like, mail-in voting or absentee voting just in case people can't actually get to the voting place. And then Illinois says we should take 3 months entirely and allow people to vote for 3 months. in advance of election day.
You know why? You know why it's Illinois?
It's an
'Cause
entire quarter.
Illinois is one of the most upstanding governmental agencies ever. The state of Illinois has never produced any crooks whatsoever. I know I live about this far from Illinois. This far. I live so close to Illinois that my emergency alert system is set up to broadcast the Illinois emergency alerts because we cover so many of these southern Illinois counties. I literally live this far away from southern Illinois. So I get all of this information about northern Illinois and all the crooks in northern Illinois. Southern Illinois is more of, you have to think of the rural, I hate that word, rural farmer and poor person.
Yeah.
I mean, southern Illinois is just is poor, simple farming folks. Completely the opposite of Chicago. Completely the other side. 180. So yeah, Illinois.
Well,
full of
they
crooks.
think, I respect the thing that you think that they're crooks, but they think that they should be able to mail in ballots for the November election for 3 months. So I'm sure this sounds stupid, but I'm sure that there's good logic here. I bet we can find it. All registered Illinois voters are eligible to vote by mail due to a new state law allowing voters to tell their election authority they permanently want to receive mail-in ballots. Okay.
Like permanently. Like you die tomorrow and you still get them 40 years from now.
Vote by mail applications for the November 8th general election open Wednesday, along with the ability to permanently request mail-in ballots. All registered Illinois voters are eligible to vote by mail due to a new state law allowing voters to tell their authority what I just said a second ago. Illinoisans looking to vote by mail can apply online. Voters can use the Illinois State Board of Elections website and choose their local election jurisdiction from their menu. Okay, great. They can use the website. Bryce Hill, an economic researcher with Illinois Institute, said a higher number of voter turnout when there's a mail-in option. We actually see an increase of about 2% in voter turnout, Hill said. For Illinois, that would mean an extra 215,000 votes on an annual basis. Let me ask you a question. Should everybody vote?
No. No, that's stupid. No, that's stupid.
But democracy.
I've often said that. I know a dozen people that are very, very close to me that I love very dearly that should not be allowed to vote at all. They have no business deciding who our leaders are at all.
Do you know what a bell curve is?
Yeah.
Okay. So a bell curve is in normal distribution curve. You've seen it. It starts real tapered on one end and it goes up and it kind of generally everybody's in the middle and then it tapers out off again.
Mm-hmm.
Right.
Mm-hmm.
So here's the thing. The bell curve is based on a normal distribution and you've heard of IQ, intelligence. The intelligence IQ is set at 100. That's the average. That's the middle.
About the average. Yeah.
Yeah. About the average. It's about the middle of the bell curve. So the
Genius
average
is about 145, 150.
I don't know. I'm down. I'm down definitely in the solid 2 digits. So about 100, 100 is the middle, right? That's the average. And if you, if your policy for getting everybody to vote is to get everybody to vote possible, you're including more and more and more of the people that are less than 100. Who are, my wife said, who are easily influenced.
Right. Who are easily influenced. She's exactly right. These people
do not get to decide the intellect of the people that get to vote.
I don't want to decide who gets to vote.
Yeah, because right there we'll be like.
But if your policy is, there
are 15-year-olds who have an IQ that would suffice.
Sure.
So are we going to take off the age requirement?
No.
You can take it away from women?
No. I'm not. But if your policy agenda is to get more and more and more, always more.
I understand your logic as a person who's already in the 2 digits for IQ.
I'm in the 2 digits. Solid 2s.
I forget how that works. I'm tired. I can't think straight if you're talking.
Ow. Man, that hurt. That burnt me in Kentucky. Whew.
It's warm in here. Do you feel warm in here? That's good.
That was great.
Yeah. All right.
Oh,
okay.
Perfect.
So anyway, okay. This allows for so basically, and I get it. It from a from this perspective of like everybody should have an opportunity to vote. Absolutely. But when you drive it hard, like everybody must vote, you are guaranteed to get a greater percentage of the people that are too stupid to make decisions.
And that's why I think that I've said for years, and I know this is a terrible, I mean, this is a terrible example. I don't think we should do this, but I think the process should be implemented and kind of don't. But I think that we should, if to go to vote, you should have a 10 questionnaire about, these people. What do you know? Name one policy of blah blah blah, or circle the policy of this. Something to see. Are you educated on these people at all? Or are you just going in? I know someone who hits just straight party ticket. And those people, in my opinion, you should not be allowed to vote. You are ruining the system for everybody else. And I understand that you have your choice and it's your right to hit that, and that's okay. But looking at it, I mean, you're a statistics person. She's a statistics person. Wouldn't that ruin? I mean, if you've got 500 people that are all making an educated decision, and then you bring in 100 people that are just hitting fucking buttons, that ruins the whole process. That ruins the whole process.
What we have is we have various different election systems across the country. Basically they're mostly like pick a party and they win or whatever. But generally it's like first past the post. But we have very little nuanced little versions of that. All kinds of different things. Some places allow two-party. Single. What is it? What did you say? The straight ticket. Some places allow straight ticket. Some places don't. What we have is a effective system for making decisions, but we don't have an effective system for making good decisions because it doesn't require the voter to be knowledgeable or invested
and that's the problem. And Jeremy's right. I mean, he's right. I didn't know that it was unconstitutional. That's interesting. But I mean, I kind of feel that way too. That it's not right, but don't you feel like there should be some sort of, I don't know. I mean,
well, we used to have land ownership. We used to have land ownership, and the idea behind having land ownership as a requirement to be a requirement to vote would be that if you bought land, you were invested in the territory. You were as a landowner, you would be a person
invested in everything
in the ultimate good outcome. Whereas if you're a person who is just a migrant person passing through, like, oh, I'll just vote, and if it goes to hell, I'll just go somewhere else. So, I mean, and then of course there's some other ideas contemplated through time, like,
hey, all you people that don't know shit over here in this town, vote for this guy. I'm voting for this guy because he's a good guy. And so my vote has now been amplified by 50 because I got all these people to vote for him that are uneducated voters. They don't have a clue about this guy, and that's it. I just hate our system. I hate our system. Our system is so easily abused, and the people that think our voting system's fair have never been involved in the underside of the voting system.
So kind of an example of this here, I found this real quick. This is a story from December 15th, 2021. New York City will allow 800,000 non-citizens to vote in local elections.
See, how is that helping the local election? If I brought in 800,000 people to your town on election day to vote for your city council people and whatnot, I mean, wouldn't that piss you off?
It's just,
I mean, seriously. We've got some shitty local officials that we have been for a long time trying to oust, and we finally got them out. And it would piss me off if a bunch of people from the next county over came in and voted and went back home. It'd piss me off.
I just think that maybe we need to have some more consideration about Well, this is why. Okay, so this is why it's so important that you have the power, right? If you become elected, then you get to make the rules that set determining how election rules are structured determines how elections are done, right? If you get to make policies that says everybody gets to vote, everybody, then you're going to get a certain type of election results, and if that benefits you, that makes sense, and otherwise. And so Nancy Pelosi has argued on behalf of like people as young as 16 voting. 16. Have you met a 16-year-old? Do you remember being 16? Oh,
I live with
I mean,
14s and a 17-year-old.
why?
So I'm close enough.
Why would she advocate for teenagers to be responsible for voting for the direction of the country? You know why? I know why. Because they're young and impressionable, and their messaging tactic could work, and they could include more of the lower half of the bell curve. That's why.
Mm-hmm. No, your brother. It's the 13th. It was a proposed one. It might be hard to find on the internet anymore. I got into a huge argument with a guy from Canada one time about it, and I remember pulling it up years ago and showing it to him. And he still got pissed off at me. He was like, I ain't Googling that because I was right. And so, yeah, it's you might not find it. I mean, you know how the internet censors shit. I mean, monkeypox used to say different shit a year ago when you Googled that. So yeah, I was speaking of JJ, I was really interested in this story over here on the side.
Oh, got one.
No, you don't have to click on it, but I've already opened it because I want to read it myself.
Oh, is it the top one? The blue one?
Not the top one? No. It's
Which
one?
one?
Of the other ones. That one.
This one?
Interesting to me. We don't have to look that.
So this says COVID vaccine document birth defects, lost pregnancy, FOIA request reveals. So apparently, and Pfizer denies it, but apparently something like 44% of women who got the Pfizer shot lost their pregnancies.
Philip Morris denied. In the fucking 1980s, every CEO of the tobacco company denied tobacco cancer. So of course, Pfizer is going to deny it.
There's no evidence that smoking causes cancer.
I'm
there's like all of these dead people over here.
I've seen a lot of videos of some. I'm just stating this. I'm not saying this has anything to do with anything. I'm just stating this independently. I have seen a lot of videos that have emerged in the last couple of years of people just dropping the fuck dead. Just dropping dead.
Oh my God, dude. We've
invented a new syndrome called sudden adolescent death syndrome.
Okay, so I haven't played those. We already got struck on like the first day that we did the show. So I've been careful not to play stuff like that. I've seen that too. I've seen compiled videos of people straight up just falling over dead.
News anchors, comedians on stage.
Yeah.
Boom. And nobody knows what's caused.
Athletes on the court falling over dead.
People.
There was one last week. It was a Saudi Arabian ambassador giving a speech at something or another, and then like he just collapses. And
musicians, and this is very controversial, but I honestly believe one of my favorite drummers of all time for the Foo Fighters, Taylor Hawkins, died from it.
Oh, really?
Yeah. He died suddenly for no reason. I don't know what it was. Crazy.
I don't know that this thing causes anything. I don't know anything about that. And I'm not asserting it. And not only that, am I not asserting that, I'm going to say this. We have like 7 billion people alive on Earth. And more than ever, everybody's got a phone all the time. So it's totally possible, totally possible that this just happens all the time anyway, where people just fall over dead. And now we get it. Now we get it more on camera and video. And so you see it and then you make an association. So I don't know.
We've had cameras and phones for 20 plus years now.
Yeah, but we haven't had video being like shared TikTok, dude. In the last 2 years, like all the dumbest people on earth are on TikTok.
I will say that you do have a point, but I could argue that point.
I don't know. What I'm saying is I don't have any evidence.
But yeah,
other than this obvious circumstantial evidence, it's not. So
it's completely circumstantial. But I mean, I don't consider myself. I do. I consider myself a stupid person. So
This is
What
from
do I know?
August 17th. We're going to dive into this one. This is the COVID trials.
We don't have to. No, let's go to
YouTube.
something else.
I,
You don't have to talk
no.
about this. Let's talk
Okay.
about our entertainment show. I don't want
All
this.
right.
I want to
Okay.
read this on my own.
All right. Well, maybe we'll tease it. And maybe
We
we'll
can
do it
save
tomorrow.
it. Yeah, we can do it tomorrow.
All right. Let me just tell you this, Deacon. Today is October 18th. It's your first day that we can watch She-Hulk on Marvel Disney Plus. Huh? Yeah.
Oh, that's what he's talking. Hang on, I was trying to read what your brother was saying. The Universe 13 was about outlaw nobility and money classes. That was the 13th to Oh, it shifted the 14th into the 13th. Oh, I see what you're saying. Okay, yeah, you're right there. Yeah, okay. Let me look at what he's saying. Okay, I'm sorry. Yeah. Go ahead.
You're good. So, starting today, we can watch She-Hulk on Disney Plus. So, we are obligated to watch this and then give a review. So sometime today, when you did like cram in, I think it's like a 30-minute show or something. We need to watch it so that we can have an opinion of it tomorrow.
Okay, hang on, just real quick. You just watched the Orville and stuff. Jeremy, I'm going to try to take a picture of this crap that I got at home of this, because I can't find it in this short amount of time, but it really looks like that Google has changed some search parameters from a couple of years ago. So I'm not even going to get into it now, but I've got some stuff at home about what we're talking about. I'll give it to JJ. All right, go ahead. She-Hulk is today.
She-Hulk is today. She-Hulk launches today. So I'm very excited.
3 episodes or just one?
I don't know. When I say I'm very excited, what I mean is, okay, let's watch it. I heard her referred to as Green Karen. Somebody on Twitter, Scott Adams said yesterday that he was quoting somebody, referred to her as Green Karen. And like, once you kind of look at her and say, oh, that's Green Karen, they're like, that's the only thing you'll be able to see when you watch this show. So I'm curious to see if that's true. It's okay. So She-Hulk head writer admits Disney Plus series originally developed as a legal procedural until the writer's room, quote, realized none of us are that adept at writing rousing trial scenes. So, in what may be one of them,
I'm having freaking emergency here.
Okay. Deacon's got to put his cape on. We're going to read this story. In what may be one of the most baffling admissions made by a creative attempting to promote their work, She-Hulk attorney at law, head writer Jessica Gao has revealed that the upcoming Disney Plus series was originally pitched, greenlit, and developed as a full-blown legal procedural up until its writers began their duties and suddenly realized that none of us are adept at writing rousing trial scenes. So we're talking Law and Order, we're talking Boston Legal, we're talking like it was intended to be like a hard-hitting legal series, and then they were like, we're not smart enough for that. Let's make jokes about who knows what. Speaking with Variety as a part of the She-Hulk press tour, Gao was asked by the outlet's senior entertainment writer Adam B. Vary if she could detail her initial pitch for the series, to which she recalled, "Well, my pitch for the show is pretty close to the show you're watching. All of the key foundational elements were there," said the writer. Emil Blonsky, Abomination, was always in the pitch. Bruce was always in the pitch. I don't know if I could use them. I didn't know if what their relationship to Abomination was anymore, but I thought, you know what? That's just what I want, so I'll pitch it. And thankfully, they liked it all. Despite these elements being shared with her original vision for the Jade Giantess solo outing, Gao disclosed that the series was actually conceived to be a much different tone and focus. When I went in, it was definitely skewed a lot more heavily towards Blonsky's trial. In my original pitch, it was an actual trial that spanned multiple episodes. When we got to the writer's room, inevitably things changed as you're developing the show and you start writing. And one thing we realized very slowly is that none of us are adept at writing, like rousing trial scenes. So,
don't you think you'd freaking hire somebody that would? Call Dick Wolf up. God almighty.
I mean, like that sounds like a much more interesting show than just like a whoopsie doopsie, comedy show. I mean, like that would have been a neat trick if you could make She-Hulk and make it a hard like legal show, and like, you know, that would have been kind of neat, because the whole time you'd be like, but she's the She-Hulk, and you're like, yeah, but this is about law. And then, and I don't know, I think you could have really hooked people in. Maybe this will be good though. We'll see. We're gonna find out, because I demand that we watch She-Hulk episode 1 and talk about it. So that starts today. So exciting. All right. Have you heard about the latest moves of Mega Chad? Let's go. Oh, here we go. Zaslav. Ellen DeGeneres' new show has been canceled by the Warner Brothers. Warner Brothers, as you know, is now a property of Warner Brothers Discovery, which has been bought by Discovery. And Mega Chad Zaslav is saying, hey, listen, this is our future plan. No more shit. We're not going to do any more terrible stuff. We're not going to do boring shows. We're not going to do movies on HBO Max. We're not going to do garbage that nobody wants. We're going to do big theatrical releases. We're going to do big, exciting stuff people want to see. And we're not going to do garbage. By the way, Ellen, you're fired.
Maybe he's got a good point. Maybe they've been just wasting money on all this bullshit.
You think?
I mean, this was probably one of the things in Ellen's contract. They were like, okay, we're going to give you this, and we'll give you an animated TV show, and we'll do this, and we'll do this. And nobody likes Ellen anymore. I really never liked her in the first place. But, I mean, she always just seemed way too fake to me. And then it comes out that she's a piece of shit. And she treats everybody like crap.
Yeah, you know, one of the last things Anne Hesh said was that Ellen, Anne Hesh was like Ellen's girlfriend or something like that. One of the last things she said in her last interview before she died was like Ellen was a bitch, and thank God she's in Africa right now, and I feel like I can finally be a human. So, and then Ellen did, and then Anne Hesh dies. Yeah,
can you imagine how? I mean. Phew. So yeah, good. I'm
apparently this was something called Little Ellen.
Yeah, about a freaking cartoon.
Like who wants to watch a cartoon about Little Ellen? Anyway, it's been canceled a year before it even aired on HBO Max.
Celebrities have done that. All right, have made a TV show or a cartoon.
Everybody hates Chris Rock.
Rock. There was Bobby's World with Howie Mandel. Wasn't that like Howie Mandel's childhood or something? I don't know. There's been several.
Sure.
I can't think of them off the top of my head now.
Fat Albert, isn't that about? No, that's not. That's Bill Cosby, right?
Hey. I think he did the voice, but I don't think.
Hey. It wasn't about him.
That was spot on, Fat Albert. Do that again.
Hey.
Yeah, wow.
No, that was not spot on. All right. Anyway, sorry, Ellen. Nobody gives a shit.
Hey.
All right. Hey, you know what else Zaslav did? He sold the CW. Nexstar Media Group is now a majority owner of the CW, and Warner Brothers Discovery has reduced their ownership to 12.5%. So CW, famously the home of The Flash, Supergirl, Batgirl, canceled. Oh, those are canceled. The Flash is still on the air. Supernatural, that's over with. You got Legends of Tomorrow. Green Arrow, that's canceled, or series is done. So and then also very famously, CW always has the very young, very handsome young people on their TV shows. I think they have like Archie, the Archie show or whatever. Yeah. I don't know. According to Deadline, the CW officially has new ownership. Nexstar Media Group will take a 75% ownership stake in the network, while previous 50-50 owners Paramount Global and Warner Brothers Discovery each retain 12.5% of the network. The name of the network was the merger between Paramount's former name CBS, which is where the C comes from, and the Warner Brothers, which is where the W comes from.
Oh, I didn't know that.
Yeah. In light of our reporting on the sale earlier this year, the word is now that the network won't look drastically different in the near term, but the long-term plan is to expand to a broader audience with cost-conscious programming. That sounds hot. And it's an interesting deal that that Nexstar is going to absorb CW's existing debt but is not paying any cash or stock up front. Currently, the CW is said to be the only broadcast network that has been operating in an ongoing loss for a while now. With woke content like Batwoman, Riverdale, and Nancy Drew, this failure is predictable. Existing scripted show. This is the most important thing. Existing scripted shows from Paramount and Warner Brothers Discovery will run through the 22-23 season, but after that, Nexstar will have the option to extend the partnership. Expect to see massive cuts in budgets and an increase in unscripted shows, which are the most cost efficient. Will they get rid of wokeness or double down? I'll tell you what's going to happen. Right now, Warner Brothers Discovery, probably Paramount, they have we've already greenlit these shows. These shows are already in. We've already got ad pre-sold. We're going to run it through the rest of the year. And then the next year's going to come up and Nexstar is going to be like, well, we can't keep those shows on the air. We can't afford that. So we're going to cancel that. We're going to have Cops, the new Cops TV show. We're going to have some dine and date shows. It's going to be this channel is about to go in the dumpster.
The shows right now that were hot, I guess they're still kind of hot. Ashley, that's like her guilty pleasure is it's the shows where they meet and get married or something within like a week.
Yeah. Right, okay. She likes those kind of things.
Yeah. She actually was watching this one. It was a while ago. It was called 90 Day Fiance. And she was sitting there watching it for so long that I was kind of, I'd watch a little bit with her and whatnot. And I got kind of hooked on it because some of these people are cuckoo.
Hey, make the worst decision in your life in the smallest amount of time possible.
Oh, it's so funny. It's one of those shows where you're like, man, my life sucks. And then you watch that show and you're like, I'm awesome. I am so happy.
I don't know. So obviously the CW is where the Flash was. Mm-hmm. And it was where, a bunch of those shows are ending. For me, they're already over with. I haven't cared about those shows in a long time. So I kind of am ambivalent about the loss of CW. We've already lost Supernatural, that wrapped up. So
finally, that one wrapped up 8 seasons ago.
What of value is there in this? Now, Warner Brothers Discovery, by the way, they have HBO Max app. They have their own distribution platform, and it's pretty good. So,
I like the Legends of Tomorrow. I think the Legends of Tomorrow is a great comic book TV show because it's like a comic book. One episode they might be fighting Tyrannosaurus Rex, and the next episode they're fighting aliens from the future. It's so cool.
That's fun.
They do a good job with that show.
But I haven't watched it since the third season.
Well, you're not missing much, but I mean you've watched. Yeah, I mean it's the same stuff over.
And I thought it was fun. I thought it was probably. Let me think. So at the time, I and we're talking several years ago. Flash was the best show.
Yeah,
and then Arrow was a very different kind of show, and it was I always thought it was kind of hokey, but respect what they did. But I thought the Legends of Tomorrow was the second most fun. Good. I thought it was the second most fun.
Ashley and I watched Arrow, and I don't remember why we stopped. I never finished it. And then Flash, I got sick of the Flash with it was just like every freaking villain was one of the speedster villains from the TV, from the comics. It's like, okay, which one is it going to be this time? I mean, throw somebody else in there. It was always, we're going to tell this Flash story and this Flash story. It was just kind of like, as somebody that didn't read the Flash comic books, I was just kind of like,
can you guys vary the theme a little bit?
Yeah, you got another speedster, and this one's a dark reverse Flash.
Oh, okay.
An alternate.
Although I will say, anytime the dude plays the reverse Flash on screen, whoever that dude is, that guy's great. I love that guy. Mm-hmm. Anyway, all right. But we're not done yet. This is also under the domain of Mega Chad Zaslav. Peacemaker, Penguin, and Green Lantern are moving forward at HBO Max. I have watched the first season of Peacemaker, and that stuff is hilarious.
Really?
Yes. The Suicide Squad sequel by James Gunn is great. You should watch it. I don't know. Call one of your buddies, get a HBO Max login, and borrow HBO Max.
Oh, I can watch it anytime. I
okay.
the 7 C's.
So anyway, this Peacemaker spinoff from the what did I say, Suicide Squad movie?
Yeah.
Very funny and very good. This dude right here, John Cena, just nails
is
this
that John
character.
Cena?
Yeah. He plays.
Oh.
He's basically like a douchebag Captain America. He's not especially smart. He's not even especially good at anything other than killing people. And then he just feels bad about killing. Well, he didn't even feel bad, but like he starts to develop a conscience.
Who's there in the background? It looks like Darkhawk.
Yeah, no, I can't remember his. I can't remember the name of his. We're gonna say sidekick, but it's more like I don't know who you are, and this guy is like a big fan of Peacemaker.
And then I see Blades in this. Is that Wesley Snipes?
No, that's not Wesley Snipes. It's just
the cheerleader from Heroes. Or is that Elisha Dushku?
Yeah, you don't know who any of these people are.
Oh,
yeah.
okay, yeah.
Jeremy's right. It is woke. It's super woke. It's got a lot of woke stuff happening, but you can dismiss a lot of that and still have a good time watching this show.
Every male character is a dummy, and every female is brilliant.
Yeah, that's true. A vigilante. He's called Vigilante. Okay, yeah. This guy's Vigilante, and he's basically just a homicidal maniac, but he's killing bad guys, so that works out for the government. So anyway, these shows are not canceled, and Zaslav is canceling a lot of shows that are like, hey, look, we're not going to make low rent stuff. If it's not great, we're not doing it. So
good for him, mate. I mean, 10 years down the road, everybody, they might be making documentaries on this guy being like 10 years ago, 20 years ago, this guy was like, holy shit, what's he doing? And now Warner Brothers owns Disney, so who knows? I think it's a good, honestly, coming from, a layperson standpoint, yeah, that's a good move. Get rid of all this crap. Just focus on the big shit.
So we talked before about John Wick. There's a John Wick 4 movie being developed currently. And I know you haven't watched all the John Wick movies or maybe any of them. They're great. The first one especially.
I'm going to.
Got it. I mean, I know it's hard to find time. Believe me, I know it's hard to find any time in or whatever. But John Wick, at least watch the first one. It's like amazing. So John Wick Chapter 4 is working its way towards theaters in March of next year. So it's a good time to check out the prequel series, The Continental, which has been in the works for Starz. I didn't know about this. The latest news is that the series is moving over to NBCU's streamer partner Peacock after having been announced 4 years ago. So it's no longer going to be on Starz. It's now going to be on Peacock. The 3-part event series is said to be a better fit for the streamer as that has recently acquired the rights to the film. Starz has shifted its focus to more female skewing series like their modest hit Outlander. Also, Lionsgate is said to be on the verge of selling cable network as soon as next month. Wow! Guys, if you work for some of these traditional media outlets, you better hold on to your pants because you might not have a job soon. Lionsgate selling the cable network as soon as next month. Continental will debut on Peacock sometimes in 2023. The series stars Colin Waddell as a young Winston Scott, a role played by Ian McShane on films. I love Ian McShane. This dude right here, this dude could sit just straight, read a phone book, and I would be like, who's next? Just tell me. I want to know. He could read ads. He could tell me, he could read Democrat propaganda, and I'd be like, I don't agree with you, but I definitely want to listen. I love this guy. Anyway, this guy was in a show called Kings, and it was basically a modern retelling of King David, and he played basically the equivalent of Saul or Paul or no, King Saul. I think it's King Saul. Amazing, is so awesome. Ian McShane is totally awesome. All right, that is that, and finally we have a little bit of sads. Legendary actor, comedian Steve Martin says he's done with acting. Only Murders in the Building has been a huge success on Hulu. I didn't even know about it, but it sadly would mark the end of Steve Martin's long and prosperous career. Martin, who was a popular comedian starting in the 1970s, recently returned to acting after kind of retiring in 2009 and then just playing the banjo. However, it appears that he's prepared to put his acting career on hold indefinitely once Only Murders comes to an end. naturally, when Martin initially declared his retirement in 2009, it appeared as though he'd given up acting work, but he kind of like took temp jobs and did like one-offs or whatever.
Yeah, and he's done a lot of little bitty stuff with Martin Short, and I think they got back together and had such a good time doing some stuff for Netflix that they done this little TV show. What is that on?
Have you seen
Prime
this?
or something? No, but it's one of those that I do want to see. I love Steve Martin. I love him, and Martin Short. One of the movies that I loved growing up as a kid was The Three Amigos, and that's
my God,
yeah, that's one of the movies that me and Ashley, I'll be like, my little buttercup, and we'll sing the whole song. It's
yes,
I mean, and The Jerk is probably The Jerk and Airplane to me are some of the funniest movies on the planet, period. The Jerk,
absolutely.
and I know some people that's just not their comedy because my ex-wife was like, that's the dumbest thing. There's not one funny thing in that movie, and I'm like, everything in that movie's funny. So yeah, I love Steve Martin, and his musical ability is just unbelievable. Unbelievable banjo player. I had an autographed picture that I didn't get. It was given to me. It was given to the radio station that I worked at a long time ago, and I found it. And I was like, "Can I have this?" And they were like, "Yeah." But it was an autographed picture of. There's a bluegrass player named David Grisman, and then there was Jerry Garcia and Steve Martin, and it was taken at a festival somewhere, and all three of them were standing around with their banjos and guitars and stuff, and it was signed by Steve Martin. And I was like, "Oh my God, can I have this?" And they were like, "Yeah." So I had that on my wall for years and years. I don't know what happened to it.
That's awesome.
Happened in
so he says he's done. You think he's done? He might
be
done.
Probably. I mean, he's up there in years. How old is he? Is he in his mid-70s?
I don't know.
He's had white hair since he was like 40.
Yeah, it's hard to say. I mean, he looks pretty
I've
good.
I've always thought Steve Martin was old because of his white hair, his platinum hair.
77. Holy moly. Oh, my goodness.
He's up there.
Wow. Oh, my God.
Yeah. I mean,
and now I'm just so curious. So Ian McShane.
I just love him. I don't know anything about his politics, so I don't want to.
Yeah.
I don't really know about his politics.
Look, he's always done the smart thing. He just kind of like
shut up.
Doesn't talk about it.
Thank you. And that's brilliant. Yeah. Dance, monkey. I'll pay you to dance. I don't want to pay you to hear about who you think should be president.
Right. It should be Liz Cheney, right?
It should be Liz Cheney. Yeah. He
says no one at all. No one says that except Captain Janeway.
Yeah, man. Anybody,
and Al Franken.
Yeah,
Al Franken says
Dirk is one of the best movies ever. And
so
we should watch Three Amigos again, man. I miss that.
I watched it probably a year ago, or I watched some of it a year ago.
Yeah. I still know so many. I quote that movie so often. I will use the word plethora all the time. I said it the other day on the air or something, but I said it one day doing something. I think it was on the air, and Ashley texted me, "Do you even know what a plethora is?" Freaking love that movie.
Does it mean a lot? Because I think it means a lot.
Yeah. You don't remember that line in that movie? There's a line in that movie with.
I don't remember that line. I remember some of the other scenes, and especially like just kind of the entire act where they're like defending the town and they're like setting the town up to be defended. It's pretty funny. Yeah, Three Amigos, great movie. Steve Martin's a great talent, and if this is it, and he wants to just retire and swim in the ocean and play banjo and ride rollerblades, well, more power to him. Everybody deserves. I'm about to say everybody deserves some rest in their life, but is that true? Does everybody deserve that? I don't know, but certainly Steve Martin does. He's contributed to all of our lives for many, many years. There was a movie that he made about that's got to be like 12 years ago, and it was about getting like a script made into a movie in Hollywood.
What was with that? Eddie Murphy?
Maybe Eddie Murphy. Yes, with Eddie Murphy.
Yeah, that was called oh damn it.
I'm gonna find it.
Said it, I could have.
I know. And you're gonna once I read the name of it, you're gonna be like, yeah, of course, that makes sense. But why is his IMDb not come up first?
Bowfinger.
Bowfinger. Yes, that was a
I
funny,
would've never
funny movie.
I would have never come up with that title, but yeah, I've watched that once. Yeah, Eddie Murphy did a hilarious job as the little nerdy. I mean, I love Eddie Murphy anyway, but his just looking at this picture now reminds me of how great of a job he did as that little nerdy kind of character. It was great.
Oh, he did. I mean, Roxanne. I remember watching Roxanne, L.A. Story, Pink
Roxanne was
Panther.
a good one. Yeah, Roxanne was a play off of Cyrano de Bergerac, right? Was that the one where he had the long nose? Steve Martin had the long nose.
I think so. Yes.
Yeah. It was a Cyrano de Bergerac. Yeah. That was a good one. Roxanne, I forgot about that one. Yeah, Steve Martin has had a lot of. I need to look up Steve Martin's IMDb.
He did. He obviously did a lot of
Put it on
TV
screen.
work
Put it on screen.
of Roxanne.
No, share your. Are you on IMDb?
Yeah.
Yeah, share it on your screen. I want to see it too.
Come on, Roxanne.
We want to play.
Whoa! Look at that honker.
I need to shave. It's not on the screen, yo. Oh, there it is.
Hold on. I mean,
that was such a good movie.
Look at that nose.
Daryl Hannah, yeah.
Oh wow. Rest in peace, Daryl Hannah.
Oh, I forgot she passed away.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, man. She was a big thing in the early 80s. That's a funny movie. Steve Martin has just got some great lines in that movie, man.
Just the ability to play kind of like a straight up character. We have this giant thing off your face, and then you're acting like it's not even there, and everybody else has to look at you while you're doing your scenes.
Always, you always got to respect some of these actors that are doing such a good job, and they're like acting to a foam ball, a green ball on a stick. It's like, yeah, you got to give it to him.
Yeah, amazing. Yeah, he's had white hair since he was like, oh my God. Yeah, you see it trying to drink out of that wine glass.
Yeah, that scene where he's
All right. We've lost our whole audience by chasing down Steve Martin. Steve Martin. Yeah. All right. Hey, that's it. We're done. We're turning it off. We're saying goodbye. Good morning, everybody. It is August 18th, 2022. I hope that you have a great day. And we will be back tomorrow with some amazing news because it's going to be Friday and nothing bad is going to happen. We're only going to have great news.
Mm-hmm. Yep, that's exactly right.
Do you want to see Liz Cheney as President Lincoln again?
No.
Okay. I'd have to go dig it out.
I want to see Nancy Pelosi as Skeletor.
Oh, do you? Because I can do that. I will happily do it. No, I'm reserving that for when we have Nancy Pelosi news.
Okay.
And thank God, we have no Nancy Pelosi news.
Thank God. God is good.
All right. Goodbye, everybody. We'll see you tomorrow. I'm going to go get my kids.